Hey friends, I'm at the world's largest origami event. That's right, I'm here in Times Square for the Origami USA Convention 2024. Let's check it out.
There is so much to share from this weekend of folding, but if you've watched my other vlogs, you'll know that the best parts of a convention aren't just the folds, but the people behind the folds. Let's go meet some of them. The special guests of the convention were Francesco Mancini from Italy and Pei Haozhong from China. These guests brought a variety of style to the convention, from math-inspired geometric models to record-breaking complex models. Not only were their folds impressive, but they brought a great presence to the convention, from competing in the Amazing Race to working on new designs during late-night folding. Another extremely important person is Ruth Theron. Ruth Theron helped me exhibit my work in 2017, and now we both managed the exhibition together. It's not always about crazy complex or creatively unique folds. It can also be about these little moments of sharing. However, crazy complex folds are also great. So let's go check some out.
Chris, is it time?
It's time.
What are we doing?
We are going to fold two human figures connected to each other over the course of this convention, and you're going to make one and I'm going to make the other.
Yes, we are. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Just look how crazy that paper looks. Stay tuned to the end to see the finished result. But for now, let's check out the exhibition. And the first thing to do is to set up the exhibition. So here's me setting up mine, and we're going to come back to check on it later. I want to show you the crazy folds that people brought first. And with that, I'd like to present some of the greatest folding talent in the States.
So this is my exhibition, and I did things a little bit differently this time. Each model is more highlighted or raised, and there's overall less. But I think being able to highlight each piece makes them more impressive. So right over here, we kind of have a signature. This is the Dragonplate Armor Sword and Shield. And I've been working on these big display stands so that people can really see it. And being elevated, it's a little bit easier at eye level to see all the details. Next over here, we have Sam as well as Rooted. And this is the box that carries Sam, but I also added a little attachment so I can have Rooted have a black background, and that enables people to see the details with the roots. Also, Sam is on its own display stand and raised so people can see the details. Now, on the other side, these models are all kind of similar. They have my box head kind of concept going on. So at the far end, of course, we have head empty. That's my other signature. And below, we have some of the plain faces or fake head empties. And right now, this is part of an ongoing series. Again, you might know what's going on, but we only have 3 so far, and I think they work nicely against the black background as well and offer just a cool, different mix-up. On top over here, we have the big heads, or the big box heads that I showed at EWalk, and the 2 of these together, They're actually different grid size ones, so there's just slight differences, and I think they look nice being paired together. Overall, with my exhibition this time, I focused a little bit more on each piece instead of just bringing all of them, and I think it worked out really nicely. I've gotten a lot of compliments, and it was a lot of fun to think about and put together.
Cool, right? Maybe next year you can be the one to exhibit your work at the convention. Before we move on, I want to show some of my favorite exhibits.
I really like that my exhibition gets to be right next to Chris's. Oh my goodness, Chris's designs have been so cool recently. We can see some recent Origami Dan Death Battle submissions, some of his past series and really complex humans, and of course his conceptual hand arts, which are really, really fun. I like that thumbs up a ton. But yeah, it's fun to combine, people who really have passion for humanoid origami and get to display right next to each other. You can see with Chris, he also raised his models for some verticality. That way we get a much nicer viewing angle. We were kind of on the same wavelength here, and we can take a closer look at some of the amazing details. This design, Chris says it's straightforward, but I think it's really insane. I think a lot of people think it's insane. I am a big fan favorite of this Aries design, and just look at the details in the shield, the face, the hands, and the armor. So many details, greatly highlighted, and a really awesome pose. We have some other cool stuff. This is actually my first time seeing the fully complete Folders recursion. This is what me, Bodo, and Chris folded last year as part of our collab, and it is us folding the Folders recursion. So, us folding us, folding us, folding us. Really nice, fun to see this model again and see how it turned out. Right, this is a one-of-a-kind, nothing else like it in the world. Pretty neat. Once again, we got the thumbs up. I really like that. We got, what is this one called? Extinction Rebellion. Another really unique kind of design structure. Chris's 24 grid dragon. Example of how Chris has mastered a lot of box pleating techniques. And we have Lucifer's Revenge, which you can see how much time Chris spent into shaping to really see how this trident is piercing the body. Absolutely cohesive, fantastic wings, and a lot of emotion going on in this pose. And here's Brian Chan's exhibition. And I gotta say, Brian is my inspiration for presenting models at an origami convention. Just take a look at this. This is a series, Grasshopper in flight, using the boxes as a raised platform to show the series of flight, and then the crease patterns, also following the same kind of level and change in elevation. And a lot of these boxes actually will stack into each other, so it's easy for Brian to transport, and they're really nicely finished. If I go over here, we can see just this hexagon pattern. Everything about this is really beautiful. And you can see how I might have taken some inspiration on the elevation aspect in my exhibition, but man, I got a ways to go to get to this level of execution. Over here, we have a really cool mini series where it's about a cicada, and this is what we would normally think of like an origami cicada, but beautiful color change, and then wings expanded. Again, just how cool is that, having both presented together? And on the far side, we just have some awesome other insects and animals that Brian has provided with a chessboard. That's really neat. High levels of execution, potentially some of the highest levels of execution, and a gorgeous way to present it.
Let's take a quick break from origami to see one of my favorite parts of a convention that I haven't shown in a vlog as much before. That's right, the food! And oh my goodness, in New York City, Times Square, the food is amazing. And what's even better is you get to share that food experience with other folders. So here's a quick rehash by meal of what I ate during the convention. So starting with breakfast, one of my favorite things to get was a bagel. And New York bagels are so special. I've had bagels all across the world, and New York just has it done right. And if it's not a bagel, there's a ton of other baked goods like croissants, donuts, and cronuts. Croissant donuts. For lunch, a bunch of us went to this food hall called Urban Hawker. There are so many different restaurants that you could try something different every single meal. Some examples of the food are stingray fried rice, curry katsu, and Hainanese chicken. Now, one of the days there was a huge surprise that was a Japanese festival right outside our hotel, and in particular, they were selling A5 Wagyu. Now, if you haven't heard of it, it's the highest grade given to Japanese beef, and very fitting since we're at an origami convention. And I'm such a sucker for A5 Wagyu, so I had to try it. It's also very rare to be able to try it in so many different forms. I got a skewer, had it as a steak, and in a rice bowl. It's some of the best beef ever, but also some of the most expensive. I do, however, recommend you at least try it once. It's going to blow your mind. And for dinner, as a group, we mostly went back to Urban Hawker to just try as much food as we could, but I also ventured out on my own for some special places. Since I was in New York, I had to do New York food. So arguably the top 3 foods of New York, which is pizza at Joe's Pizza, steak at Gallagher's Steakhouse in Times Square, and sushi at Sugarfish. And we can't forget about dessert. There just happened to be a great gelato place right next to our hotel, so it was easy for a group of us to go enjoy. What an amazing experience spending time with folders and getting to eat super good food. I'm sorry if I made you hungry with this segment, so let's get back into folding. So halfway through the convention, Chris and I got about halfway through folding our 2-in-1. Let's check in on some of that process.
All right, Chris, how are we doing?
We're doing it. We're doing well. We have one of the figures basically collapsed. We have the legs here. We have a face here, an arm, another arm. But there's a lot left.
Oh, there is a lot left. All right.
Left.
That's my part. So
Yeah, it is.
time for me to get working.
It's your turn.
Let's go.
I hope y'all are excited to see how this turns out. And while I'm working on that, let's go check out the classes. This year's classes were crazy and even stirred some drama. I'll get into that more later, but it was really cool to see a variety of models taught, from beginner level to complex, and from first-time teachers to veteran teachers. So let's check out some of the classes that I took, and the first one is this awesome sailboat by our special guest Pei. It's a super popular class. Let's hear more from him about how it went.
All right, Pei, we just had your first class. What did you teach?
Yes, I just taught a sailboat.
Awesome. Yeah, that was such a fun sailboat. How do you think it went?
Oh, I think that is a very unique design. It's not symmetrical, and everyone enjoyed folding it, I think. So I'm looking forward to teaching more models in the coming few days.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're always welcome.
All right, so now it's just about time for my class, and I'm about to teach the sword and shield design. Now, this is a little scary because this will be the most complex class I've ever taught in person. We only have 3 hours. That might not be enough time. And I also might be making more people upset with this class than happy. Originally, I was only going to teach 10 people because of how hard it is, but over 50 people signed up. So unfortunately, not everyone was able to join. And I have let in a few other people, and thankfully, I do have some handy assistants like Dex and a few others to help guarantee that we can just go through the class really fast, speed run the collapse, and get to shaping. Let's see how it turns out. And here we are at the class. Let's go. Everyone ready to fold? All right.
Well, that was definitely the most intense class I have ever taught, but we had a pretty good success rate. Pretty much everyone was able to get through the structure of the model, and a few were on to shaping. We can see Reza here actually finish a lot of the shaping, and it looks great. The next class I took was from Ojis, who taught his dolphin design, and it was one of the most perfectly timed classes ever, despite it being his first time teaching. I then went to Chris's class, which was both a class and a presentation where he taught design techniques, and in doing so, he designed and folded a Komodo dragon live. Next up was my class with Matt, who makes cabbage paper, and this class was truly special.
All right, Matt, we're here at our class. What are we teaching today?
Well, we've got a demonstration on paper making. So I've got molds here. We've got some pulp. We're going to put the pulp in here and pull some sheets of paper. Get some hands-on experience so people can try it out for themselves.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool opportunity for people at the convention to just try making paper themselves. That's something they've probably never done in their life, even though they've been folding the stuff, right?
For sure, yeah. We've also got a setup where we can try MC treating some paper, and then we've got some sample paper so people can see what different properties they like for different models and stuff. So
yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited.
Should be great. Excited.
Let's do it.
All right.
And if you actually want to see what was talked about in that class, Matt actually recorded it and uploaded it to his channel. So link will be down in the description. You should go check that out. It was a wonderful class and some amazing information on paper. And now we're on to my favorite event at the convention, the oversized folding. Now, you've seen these in the past conventions, but this time was very different. Originally, we were only planning on folding Pei's Christmas tree, but we got a special request from none other than John Montrell. So yeah, when John Montrell requests something, you do it. So the team of me, Pei, Chris, and Matt folded 2 oversized in the time span for just 1.
All right, John, what do we have
We
here?
have a life-size, practically rhino.
Yeah, that's right.
I had so much fun making it up. The part that I like is all the clean lines. The legs are just right. They're good. They're just the right stubbiness and thickness and sturdiness, and the head is so clean and detailed. It's detailed and so clean. The whole body has just such a good proportion. The nice seamless close back. It stands nicely, but I'm not going to do it for here right now.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
But it's something like 34 steps. I get a whole lot quickly, but everything in the right place at the right time.
Precisely. All right. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for asking us to fold this. This is such a great idea to do with the large paper. Oh, really fun. Really fun. All right, team, what did we make? What were we able to do?
We just made a huge rhinoceros. That's how to pronounce that.
Rhinoceros.
Yes, rhinoceros.
John Montrell's rhinoceros.
Yes, and my Christmas tree.
Wow.
Merry Christmas in advance.
That's right. Merry Christmas.
Merry
that
Christmas
cool?
in July.
In July. Awesome. Check that out. It stands on its own.
It's got a nice little
Wow, isn't that cool?
That it is.
Whoa.
That is.
Hey, it's designed so well it can stand with
That's
this
right.
larger paper, right?
That's right.
That's right. I love that. That's cool.
That's right.
And even the head in the position looks
That's
good.
Right. It's cute.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
At Oversized Folding, it always interests me what models people actually try with the large paper. We had some crazy ones like Plant Psychologist Hexplete Bunny, and other ones that you just wouldn't think work with such a large paper. But yeah, it definitely brings smiles to everyone's faces, and I love it. And now, what you've been waiting for, the reveal of what Chris and I were cooking throughout the entire convention, our 2-in-1. So it's always fun to do a challenge like this where we have to fit in the folding while having a ton of fun doing convention things. I think this one turned out really great. I finished my portion and I actually dropped it off to Chris so he can finish up on his end. And we are so excited to show you. And this convention all ended with the final event, late night folding. And late night folding tends to go pretty crazy, so I'm just going to share some clips and they will explain themselves.
All right, and this is probably the craziest thing being folded at late night folding. Casey, tell me what you're working on here.
Well, I have decided to work on Shukikato's flying Kabutomushi.
Man, from this paper, that's absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you got the diagrams popped up there and actually partially through the collapse. So, you know, looks like it's coming along.
Yes. I've been folding for a few hours. The majority of this time has been just pre-creasing. So I hope that I can speed up a little now that I'm on the collapse.
Nice. And your plan is to finish this tonight?
I mean, it's tomorrow already. So it's 1:50, almost 2. So we'll see.
All right, I guess you got another 24 hours basically, right?
Yes. Well, I am leaving this evening.
Ah,
Yes.
nice. So until then.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Good luck.
Okay guys, so it's 4 a.m. and we just folded the voice octopus with the cursed diagrams.
Yeah, what'd y'all think?
Wait,
Wait, we could show the diagram how like oops, that's supposed to be a squash fold, not a fold in one fold. And the arrow's wrong, the line's wrong.
Show the closing.
Yeah, these are on the obb.design, by the way. If you want like, one of the most cursed octopus diagrams, where the last
One of the last steps is to do these really cursed close sinks.
Hey, but we did it.
But we did it, yeah, look at that, look at that.
Yeah.
$5. Emotional
Buy these
therapy.
cursed diagrams for $5 on OBB.design.
Oh man, it's
Very
so
worth
funny.
it purchase.
There you go. There you go. You heard it here. You heard it here. Look how
Very
happy they are. All right, good stuff for late night folding.
I'm so tired.
And that was the convention 2024. Let me know what your favorite moment was down in the comments and drop a like if you enjoyed watching this. Huge shout out to Origami USA for putting on awesome events every single year. It's been such a blessing to help plan these conventions and help out in places like the exhibition and just meeting a ton of folders in person. And what we can see from these conventions is it's not always about the origami that's done, but it's about meeting the people who fold the origami. So if you have the opportunity to either save up to attend a convention or visit one that's close to you, I highly recommend it. And I know there's plenty of people all around the world who might not have that opportunity, so maybe you can start it up yourself. Keep it up, there's a ton of folders out there. It is so awesome to bring them all together to fold in one place. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.
All this origami, all this origami, all this origami got me going kamikaze now.